Welcome to the vlog, welcome to No Boring Days. Today I'm going to talk about how to do long bike rides. One of the things I love about cycling is the long bike ride. Now, how do you define a long bike ride? It really depends on the individual. So to some people, 100 kilometers might be really long. To other people, that might just be a regular weekday ride. So it depends, but this year I had the opportunity to do two Audaxes. I did a 300k and a 400k, and it was really fun. So here are a few of my tips on how to do long bike rides. First tip, and possibly the most obvious tip, is to practice. Practice doing long bike rides. If you are used to doing a 50-kilometer ride, try to bump it up. Bump it up to 70 kilometers. See how that feels. If you're still tired while doing 70 kilometers, do another 70 kilometers and keep doing it until you're like kind of confident with your 70-kilometer distance. Then once you're confident with 70 kilometers, bump it up even more. You can bump it up to 90 or 100 kilometers. Just practice and inch your way up to your target distance. The second tip is that for longer distances, the bike actually matters. Now, if you've been a subscriber of this channel for a while, you'll know that to me, the bike does not matter that much, especially if you're just riding your bike, want to enjoy riding a bike. But admittedly, for longer distances, they do matter. They matter in the sense that your bike has to fit you really well, because small problems with your bike fit become magnified in longer distances. When I first got into cycling, I used to just bike to commute. And when I would commute for like 15-20 minutes, no big deal. There were no aches or pains or nothing. And then once I decided to go on my first 50 or 60 kilometer ride, I noticed my left arm kept getting numb. And it turned out that my fit was not great, and I had to tweak my bike, try to figure out, got a longer stem, that sort of thing. And eventually, after years and years and years and a lot of help from other people, I think I've got my fit dialed down, although I would still benefit from visiting a bike fitter, I think. Anyway, if you have small problems with your bike fit when doing longer distances, that is going to be a bigger problem. So get a bike that fits you properly, whatever bike it is you decide to use. The third tip when going on long bike rides is to make sure you figure out your nutrition. What do I mean by that? You're eating a good amount and you are also drinking a good amount. My rule of thumb is I try to do like 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. Generally, that's maybe a granola bar or a chocolate bar or whatever food, like gummy bears or whatever, every 30 minutes while on a bike ride. And I try to take a sip of my water every 15 minutes or so. As a general rule of thumb. But that's for me. It might be different for other people. But the point is, figure out your nutrition. Figure out the food that works for you. Because if you don't eat, you're going to run out of energy and you are going to bonk. And if you don't drink water, you're going to dehydrate yourself. And if you do make it home, you are going to get a massive headache. Trust me, I've been there. It sucks. Also, a bonus tip, if you happen to experience a lot of cramps during your rides, consider getting electrolytes. Those things help too. The fourth tip when going on long bike rides is to gauge your effort. Know if you are exerting way too much effort during a ride. What I do is I like to use a heart rate monitor. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Okay. I'll use the heart rate monitor from my Garmin watch, or I also have a I also have a heart rate monitor for my chest that connects to my bike computer. Whenever my heart rate goes way up, I know I am expanding way too much effort. I use the Maffetone method. I have a previous video about this. You can check that out. I'll put a link down below in the YouTube description. If you do not have a heart rate monitor, you can just use perceived effort. Generally speaking, if I am able to speak while doing the bicycle ride, I am doing an effort that I can do for the whole ride. Okay, without getting too technical, it's in a zone 2 effort. So, gauge your effort. Try not to blow up early in the ride. The fifth tip for longer rides is to break the ride down into smaller segments. If your goal is to do a 100-kilometer ride, you can break it down to 25-kilometer chunks. Maybe you could even stop every 25 kilometers if you are not used to doing that distance, and it'll just make the ride a lot easier. Especially when you're towards the end of your ride. Let's say you did 90K and you're struggling and it's super hot and you're going really slow. Just put it in your brain that you can do 5K. Just do 5K. And after you do 5K, maybe you have to stop. Maybe you take a break. Maybe you grab a coffee and then just do the last 5K going home. Just break the ride into smaller segments. That is going to make it a lot easier for you mentally. The sixth tip for going on long rides is don't forget the essentials. The essentials being bike tools, inner tubes, a charged cell phone, just in case you don't make it. A small pump for in case you do get a flat. Because a lot of people get flats. Extra money, because when you go on all those breaks, you're probably going to want to drink something or eat something. It's going to help. You might even want to put all of those things in the bike bag so you don't have to carry them on yourself while going on that ride. Let the bike do the work. The seventh tip while going on super long bike rides is to wear something comfortable. There is a reason why cyclists wear Lycra. And I know if you're not a cyclist, it can look kind of funny and it can feel kind of funny wearing this tight, body fitting clothing. But admittedly, it probably is one of the most comfortable things over a long period of time. Not only does it feel good on the bike, it's designed so that you can sweat on it, and it's a little bit more aerodynamic if it's not flapping around. Actually, it is a lot more aerodynamic, but don't worry about that. So just wear comfortable cycling clothing. And the eighth and final tip for doing a long bike ride is find the enjoyment in it. Look for what you love about it, whether it be the landscape, whether it be the air in your face, whether it just be hanging out with a friend and talking the whole time. Find the enjoyment. A lot of people equate cycling to suffering, to like some sort of suffer fest, and the reality is 90% of us, when we go on bike rides, we're not competing with other people. We just want to go out on a bike ride and have some fun. So sometimes competition is fun. I get that. But sometimes you just want to go on a bike ride and just enjoy the scenery, or the coffee in the other end of the bike ride or whatever. Just look for the enjoyment in the bike ride. Don't equate it to a suffer fest. If you want to stop, go ahead and stop. Don't pressure yourself to go a certain speed, especially if this is your first time doing that distance. Okay, those are my tips for doing a long bike ride. I hope that was helpful. If you have tips, let me know below. Put it in the YouTube comments. If this is your first time to watch No Boring Days, I hope you like this content and I hope you subscribe. More videos soon.